Five, four, three, two, one. What's up, everybody? This is DJ Anthony. How you doing? And you're watching This Business Show. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what is a stock. Now, I've been investing in stocks forever. I'm a small business owner. I own multiple businesses, and I've been in business going on 30 years. Am I saying I know everything? No, but I'm saying I know a little something, and I know a little something about stock. So, what is a stock? Now, we hear this. If you don't know what a stock is, you probably hear like, oh, the stock market, the stock, buy this stock, buy that stock. But what is stock? Is it chicken broth? Is it stock on a shelf? Well, it's funny you should mention stock on a shelf. It's almost analogous to that. So what stock is when you own a stock, you own a part of a business. Doesn't matter what business it is. And when we say stock, we're talking about the S&P or the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ or American companies that are public companies that you can purchase. Not all companies are public. So you could have a company out there that makes $1 bazillion a day, but you and I are not allowed to own part of that because it's a private company. So most small businesses, like my small business and probably your small business, if you have one, you're watching, we're not public companies. Now, how to go public with a company is a whole nother show. But talking about public companies. So for instance, Walmart is a public company. You and I can own part of Walmart. That's kind of cool, right? Or whatever, part of Nike or part of Budweiser or part of a Ford Motor Company, whatever. So generally speaking, for the most part, anything you see out there in the world, in America and abroad, but we're talking about America for this circumstance, anything that you see out there in the world, again, generally speaking, with some exceptions, but you can buy part of. So it doesn't matter. Literally anything. You can look at the concrete on the ground. You can probably buy stock, buy part of a concrete company. Grass. You can probably buy a company that specializes and makes sod, grass. Trees. You can buy companies that plant and make trees. Plant trees. So anything and everything. Cold cuts, ice cream, scissors, you name it. Glasses, hair treatment, or whatever. T-shirt company. I mean, almost anything and everything out there is has a company that is a public company that you can buy ownership in, part in, stock in. So now, no, for the most part, most humans cannot buy the whole company. Now, yes, you hear in the news, oh, this person bought this company. Yes, for billions or hundreds of millions, whatever it is. But for us average Joe and Janes, or even if you're wealthy, you can't go buying a company. Very few people on earth can go buy a company, and very few people on earth can buy half the company. Technically, you could buy a majority of a company with the stocks. But when we're talking about buying a stock or buying a share, a part, that is less than 1%. It's less than 1/1,000,000th of a percent more than likely. But nonetheless, you own part of that company. So like, for instance, this is a Post-it note. Actually, you can buy stock probably and Post-it too. So it says, company XYZ, right? Whatever. Let's just say this is company XYZ. Now, you, me, any of us can buy part of that company. Now, the question is, how much are you going to buy? So if you buy one share, of the company, it might be like, this, I don't know. It might be like this tiny little corner that I just circled off, right here. That tiny little corner would be a part, a share. Now, how much is that little corner? Could be for explanation purposes, I'm not going to get into the percentages and how many shares are in a company, blah, blah, blah. We'll just say you can buy that little tiny corner. That's a share. You want to buy 2 shares? Well, now, you own 2 corners of that company. You want to buy 3 shares or 3 parts? Now you're going to own 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, whatever, right? So you can own shares. A share is a part of that company. Now, every company is different. Some people want to charge you more for that part, depending on how, I guess, how wealthy or how successful that company is. Usually, companies that are public that you never heard of, or they have a small market share, they may sell you part of their company for cheaper than if you go with like one of the S&P 500s or one of the top 10 companies on earth or in America. That might cost you more per share. So for instance, Apple's very expensive to buy one tiny part of Apple. Just one share is probably in the hundreds of dollars, even more maybe. But a smaller business, or maybe less valuable, how the market values it, buying a smaller computer company might, probably will cost you less than the Apple share, because Apple is bigger and more popular and more valuable as the experts value it. Now, valuation and things like that, that's another whole show. But that's what a stock is. A stock is part ownership in a company. And ownership doesn't mean that like you can walk into the board meeting, hey, I'm the boss now. We're talking selling you 1/1,000,000th of 1%, like tiny, tiny, tiny. So when you buy a share, now you can buy multiple shares. The more shares you buy, the more ownership you have in that company. But again, you can't say, well, I bought 10 shares, now I own all of Apple. No, Apple has probably, who knows, millions and millions of shares. So you buying a share or 2 shares or 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares, you're probably not even breaking 1%. But at its basic point and a basic concept, a stock is a share, or a stock is a company. The ticker symbol, they call it, the stock is a share in a company. You own part of a company. Now, my opinion, I think it's great. I think everyone should own, and a lot of Americans do, whether they know it or not, because your retirement plan is usually somewhat invested in stocks somehow, some way, in some level. But I'm just talking about personally, you going out and buying stock. You can go on to plenty of platforms online that you can go and buy your own stock, aside from maybe you being involved in your retirement plan or your 401k. But anyone can go and buy a stock. And I would encourage everyone to do that. Now, there's all these naysayers that say, oh, it's dangerous. It's a gamble. No, it's not. It's a gamble if you buy stock that you don't know about, that you never heard of. And you're going to be like, I never heard of that company, but I'm going to buy some stock in it. Yeah, that's a gamble, But if you go with the S&P 500 or the top 10 or 20 companies in America, companies that, Warren Buffett always says, you buy what you know. Now, if you do that and you stay safe, you're not going to lose money. It's not a gamble. So people who usually say that probably have invested incorrectly or threw money around without looking both ways before crossing the street. They get hit by a car. Yeah, crossing the street is dangerous. But when you look both ways, you do your homework, it's not dangerous. And so if you're buying stock in a big company like an Apple or like Budweiser beer or like a Nike, could you lose money? And when I say lose money, I mean like lose your money, zero. Sure, technically that could happen. But if you're losing money in big companies like that, the chances are there's no more America. So it's safe, Now, people say, oh, you're not going to make a lot of money with those blue, they call them blue chips. Greedy, greedy, greedy. You'll make money. It won't be as much as if you were to invest in the bottom floor of a brand new company, but then again, the risk is higher. So again, Warren Buffett's rule, you buy what you know, and then you hold it and you don't sell it. Yes, there's ups and downs. Every day you'll make some, lose some, make some, but you're not going to lose. You're not going to be out in the street. Again, if you go with a blue chip, a safe company. So I highly recommend everyone should be buying their own stocks too, so you can go into a company, and I'm not endorsing these companies, but a TD Ameritrade or a Scottrade or whatever, and you can buy your own on your phone. It's very, very easy, and you don't have to have a lot of money, but it's great to like, wow, you have a vested interest in the companies that you love, whatever it may be, a deodorant company, a shirt company, an eyeglass company, a company that does, I don't know, makes medicines, your Pfizer's, whatever it is, you love the Corvette, buy stock in Chevy, So these are things that are great, and you can kind of take a little bit of control of your destiny, your financial destiny, And so I highly recommend it. But that's what a stock is. A stock is, not to go off on a tangent, but a stock is part ownership in a company. A stock is a company, and a share is a share. What it is, you're sharing in that company's profit. When they do better, your stock goes up. If they do bad for that day or that minute or that week or that year, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. And you can cash out, if you want, or you can keep it if you want. So that's what a stock is. It is, again, is a company, and a share is a part of that stock, a part of that company. So it's pretty cool, when you see people walking around like, I own stock in Nike, and so I see people walk around with Nikes. I'm like, oh, wow, I feel like they're walking around my company, so it's kind of cool. could buy stock in McDonald's, whatever, So, it's and it's nice. I think more people should be educated on it. It's really safe. Again, nothing is 100%. Yes, you can walk out of your house and get hit by a meteorite. You know what I mean? But again, if you're buying blue chip, it's as safe as walking out of your house. So that's that. That's what a stock is, and I highly recommend you guys look into it. So that is it, folks. Thank you. Check back in. A lot of great content coming up, and let me know what you think. Give us some comments and questions and whatnot. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and check out these videos coming up here and here and there and there, and click on this and click on that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.